What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I just got back from the Florida One Piece TCG regional where I got top 64. Was hoping for top 8, but still grateful enough to get top 64. This is the Nami prize card, so you guys can see. Beautiful card. Love the artwork on it, the texturing on it's crazy. Still a little bit sad I didn't get my invite, but it is what it is. We're gonna keep going for it. And we're gonna get a little bit into the deck file, you guys, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what cards I could have changed out, what cards I should have played, get more like into detail about it. So let's start. All right, you guys. So I played the blue-purple Luffy leader, which is for the event it was the most hyped deck, was the most represented. It was 118 of these decks in the room out of 560 people. So had a lot of high hopes for it, and a lot of people were gearing their decks to beat this deck. So it was a super hard tournament. Round 1, I lost to Buggy. This deck has a very hard Buggy matchup because they dropped the 8/7 Crocodile Buggy card, and then that card kind of protects your board. Whenever card is removed, you can discard a card, and that deck kind of like utilizes that card to create a tempo that this deck can't really match, because then it starts gearing up to the 10 drop. It has a really wide board when it hits you with the 10 drop Buggy. And then I also lost to Bello Betty, which this deck has on most of the time it's just unwinnable. I also made an error on my part, so it's my fault. But when you play against those decks, you cannot make one error because it will punish you like really badly. So those are my 2 losses. I played 4 mirror matches, which I excelled in the mirror match because of Red Roc. I played Red Roc. I think I'm really good in the mirror match. I just understand like really good trade-offs and when to take life and when not to take life. I know when to ramp, when not to ramp. So I kind of understand those trade-offs in that mirror match, and that's why I feel like I excelled in the mirror matches. I beat Black Purple just because that deck has an issue with against this deck in term when this deck gets to 8, it's hard for the deck to keep up with the resources. I also beat Law. I beat the green-yellow Law. That deck struggles if it doesn't Hody Jones you early on. I also beat yellow-blue Nami, which that deck got me to 0 life when they had 5 life, but I just kept looping my Linlins. I kept seeing Linlins off the top of my life, my deck, fortunately for me. And then yeah, so like I said, a really good tournament experience. Shout out to Versus Games, they hosted a great event. Everyone was super nice, everyone was super friendly. Round 2, I had a little bit of an issue with the opponent, and whatever, you know, we hashed it out. He said I didn't swing with the creature. Everyone saw that I didn't swing with it, and it left me a little bit on tilt because I wasn't gonna win the game either way. But it is what it is. So he ended up, reacting with great sportsmanlike conduct, and then everyone that said was just awesome at the end of the day. Well, I think One Piece community is really strong with how people treat each other, and I really like that. And then also, just like I said, the fun's always there in One Piece. Music was playing in the background. Everyone was just like having fun. Someone pulled the Goldie Roger in front of me, which is really cool. The God Rare. So like I said, all around just great experience. I would recommend it highly to go to regional or Treasure Cup, whatever you guys have in your area or are able to fly out to. Would say something you don't want to miss out on if you do play a TCG. So let's get into the deck profile. So we can start with the best card in the deck. If you see these cards in multiples, you're beating any deck. So Sanji 9 drop, the reason to play this deck, I don't care what anyone tells me. Yes, sometimes I want to play 3 because it is they can't cast each other out, which is annoying, but like I said, for the most part it doesn't really matter. But this card really is the glue to the deck. It is what puts it all together and makes your opponent really fear how wide your board gets. And then we have the 8 drop Charlie Katakuri. This card is what helps you stabilize. You cannot play the deck without 4 of this. I've tried many ways. It just helps you kind of like stabilize in game states that you wouldn't be able to without it. So amazing card. For Linlin, best 9 big drop in the overall game of One Piece. Gives you a life, and then it's a 9,000 creature, and just puts a card in your opponent's field to the top or life. So it just generates a life, plus it mitigates board presence. So card's just amazing in the grinds. It creates game states for your opponent where like there's no way to win because you're just like summoning one after the other. So keeps prolonging turns. The Nami blocker, good for draw power. I am constantly cutting one of these because the deck is lacking on space. You can even cut to 2. This So my testing with the deck, whenever you're summoning this card, you're probably losing, which is weird. So that's my theory with this deck. If you're summoning this card, you're probably losing the game. So, and I think I'm correct on that theory. So I may take the card out entirely for what I think is correct, and I'll explain that at the end of the video. But it is searchable. That's a big reason to play it, and you can summon it off the Sanji. 4 Uso-Hachi, best 2K. 4 Sanji blocker, second best 2K for purple. I played 2 Namis. I'm lending the one to a friend, but I played 2 of these Namis. It's just for the green yellow law matchup. You can bounce the Capone and other decks that summon small blockers. But you can play 1 or 2. It doesn't really matter. But I played 2. I like 10 2Ks at the event because people were just trying to cheese my leader. So I'd like to protect my life early on and then just start 9-dropping them. So this is the ramp stuff here. I want to explain that the games I felt like I lost where I didn't have ramp. So I feel like I should have played 4 Godsphere, but it is clunky. It is clunky at 4, but it is a good card overall. This is my ramp package. We all know what these all do. Can't complain really, other than I wish I had a little bit more ramp going on. And I'll explain that in the video, the end, what I would like to do. 2 Pudding, amazing card. It won me like 4 or 5 games. The card is just, I don't know, the card's stupid. Want to play 3 kind of. 3 Red Rocs. I want to play, like these cards are just, I want to play like 3 of this and 4 of that. So just because they help in game states that you just can't really do much with if you don't have those cards. And then the best counter card in the game One Piece, probably gonna get limited to 1 or banned one day. So gotta use it while you can. I had like maybe 1 time or 2 like clogged up, which is annoying, but you just discard the other one. But when you're digging through your deck, you need to see one of those to like counter out. And like this is the key to stabilizing your game. If you can't stabilize with this deck, you will lose because you're a 3-life leader. Stabilize in the sense that your opponent is doesn't know what to do and either cracking your board or swinging at life, but it doesn't really matter because you have such a good game plan going on in terms of casting creatures and protecting your life that it really doesn't matter. And once your board is like Kata, Linlin, Sanji, you're starting to stabilize. You're adding a life, you're having a counter in your hand, so there's nothing really your opponent can do once you're stabilizing in that way. So unless they Hody Jones you, which is like, Hody Jones is a big weakness to this deck, so keep that in mind, you guys. Always keep in mind when you play against green that Hody Jones tries to knock you off your path to being stable. So then we're getting a little bit of comments out towards the deck. So things that change, definitely keep that in. We discussed these. I do want to play a 4th Godsphere just for ramping and for stabilizing because you'll be at equals with your opponent once you pop one of their 5 drops in the middle of the game. That's a theory. Also, the games I lose is because I can't ramp, so I really want to play 4 of these here. So I've never casted Sanji the whole tournament, so I never casted this once. If you're casting this, you lose the game. It just has no value as a card. So I'm definitely going to play 4 of these. If you don't ramp, you cannot win. If you mulligan into a non-ramp hand, you will lose the game. You cannot, you are playing a slow deck at that point. I would like to play definitely maybe 1 or 2 Thunder Bagua, maybe. That's like a hard maybe. And then also I would like to play just any other form of ramping, like maybe add like 1 or 2 Witted I4 to have that option. At the end of the day, having bricks doesn't hurt too much because you discard them off Linlin, which is not a good argument, but just a way. I want to have it to like maybe 20 cards I ramp. You cannot mulligan into non-ramp. You will literally lose the game in my testing. So that's all I got to say about the deck. It performed very well. Is it tier 1? Yes. Can it be beaten? Yes. Has bad matchups. Buggy definitely and Bello are really, really awful matchups for you. You're going to be struggling the whole game. But like I said, there's ways to mitigate that, and I'm still researching how to mitigate that. So that's that. For those people that like this leader, it's only goes downhill from here because set 12 gets more of a power creep. So keep that in mind. Deck has a lot of low counter. That's one of the flaws I've been learning. So testing all with other decks, I still love this deck. I think if I didn't play my bad matchups, it would have been different, obviously, but that's hindsight. But yeah, like I said, shout out to Versus Games, the host of the great event. No complaints there, and hopefully Bandai can be doing more of these events to give more people opportunity to get their invites and get more people into the game. of One Piece. So if you guys have stuck out throughout the video, please make sure to subscribe. And I appreciate y'all that watch our channel. And like I said, we're trying to get to 1,000 subs, so I do appreciate all those that subscribe. Thank you.